Okay, good morning and welcome. I am Betty Ivory, Chief Civil Service Examiner and the host for today's Civil Service Commission meeting. Daryl Eatman, Civil Service Examiner 4, is our co-host. We have quorum of our commission members, so at this time I give our meeting to our Civil Service Commission President, Pastor Gregory Jordan.
Thank you, Betty. We call this meeting to order. We start with our roll call. Commission members, Michael Flickinger, Vice President.
Present.
India Pierce Lee, Secretary.
Present.
Daniel J. Brennan, Member. Cyrus L. Patton, Member. And Gregory Jordan, Present. Counsel, Jason Shachner, Assistant Director of Law.
Present.
Patricia Aston, Assistant Director of Law.
Present.
Office of the Civil Service Commission Staff, Rachon Long, Executive Director.
Ms. Abrams is on the call for her.
Okay.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Ms. Abrams.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Leanne Guzman, Assistant to the Executive Director.
I apologize. I was on mute. Lila Abrams, Fitzpatrick, Administrative Manager.
Thank you, Ms. Abrams. Ms. Guzman.
Present.
Patricia Donovan, Supervisor of Civil Service Records. Betty Ivory, Chief Civil Service Examiner.
Present.
Daryl Eatman, Civil Service Examiner 4.
Present.
Court Recorder, Mr. Mancini.
Present.
Agenda guest, Lincoln McGill and his representation. Brielle Tate and her representation. Danielle Graham, Executive Commissioner, Department of Public Utilities.
Present.
Thank you.
Sir, we do see Ms. Tate on the call. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Forgive me here, I can't get out of the roll call page. What's going on here, but I'm losing it. Are you kidding me? There we go. Item 2 on our agenda is accepting of today's agenda.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 3, approval of the minutes from the October 13th, 2023 Commission meeting.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Lee, abstain.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 4, approval of the routine matters.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second, Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the routine matters. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 5, consideration of the request from Lincoln McGill to be reinstated to the eligible list for the classification of water pipe repairman, Department of Public Utilities, Division of Water. Again, is Mr. McGill here or any representation? Is there someone to speak to this matter from the city?
Yes, sir. Danielle Graham from the Department of Public Utilities.
Right ahead, Ms. Graham.
Okay, so the Department of Public Utilities is disapproving the reinstatement to this particular eligible list. This is based off of the Civil Service Probationary Period, Section 680, along with the city policies as it relates to employee probationary period, as well as attendance policy, absent without leave, and the sick abuse program. And so we disapprove because this Mr. McGill showed up on orientation, however, subsequently did not show up to work 3 days in a row and then subsequently resigned. We did accept his resignation in lieu of termination. However, there was no notice or anything like that. So we are not recommending reinstatement to this particular list.
Are there any questions from the commission? Do I have a motion?
Motion to deny request. Flickinger.
Second, Lee.
Been moved and seconded to deny the request. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That request was denied. Item 6, consideration of the request from Brielle Tate for reinstatement to the eligible list for the classification of customer service representation, call center, Department of Public Utilities, Division of Water. Is Ms. Tate here?
I'm here,
Thank you. Do you have representation? Or are you representing yourself?
presenting myself.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the city here for this matter?
Yes, sir. Department of Public Utilities, again, Danielle Graham.
All right, Ms. Graham, you can go first.
The department is also disapproving this reinstatement to this particular eligible list. Ms. Tate, while she started on August 1st, subsequently was absent the majority of her probationary period, again, falling under probationary period under the civil service rules, section 680, along with employee probationary period and attendance policy. Equally, when she notified the city, she did that via the sick line, having not been present at work for a number of days. So with that being said, we are not recommending reinstatement to this particular list.
I believe you're muted.
Mr. Jordan? Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you. There was a fire truck going by. I didn't want you guys to hear the background noise. Forgive me. Ms. Tate, you may go now.
Okay, so the reason, as I did believe state in my letter, my great grandmother got sick. I am her caregiver. She did recently just pass away. She got sick with COVID during the time, and I do understand attendance is important. But as I was in training as well, I did let my trainers know my grandmother did have COVID, and she just got really sick. I had to take care of her. She passed away recently last year, around that time that I had to take the leave due to her being sick.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any questions from the board, from the Civil Service Commission? Members? Okay. Seeing no more questions or comments, do I have a motion? Am I still muted?
No, sir. You're on. Ms. Lee, would you like to unmute?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So
I have motion to deny the request.
Flickinger.
it's been moved and seconded to deny the request. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, that request was denied. Sorry, Miss, about your passing of your grandmother.
Well, thank you. It's okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your morning.
All right. Item 7, consideration of the ministerial corrections to the patrol officer eligible list.
Good morning, Betty Ivory, Civil Service. I am presenting a ministerial correction to the eligible list for patrol officer to include 3 candidates who have earned veterans preference and residency credit. as well as to identify one person who that candidate's information was conflicting in two different data sources. So unfortunately, I missed that person. But we wanted to add one name and modify 3 others due to missing residency and or veterans preference credits they earned.
Motion to approve Flickinger.
Second, Lee.
To approve the correction, all in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Motion was approved. Item 8, consideration of the request from the Department of Finance to establish the new classification of citizen support specialists.
Good day. Lila Abrams Fitzpatrick, representing the city. So this classification of citizen support specialist was a part of the collective bargaining and ratification with International Local 100 ASME Ohio Council 8. This is a new classification that will replace telephone operator. The updated classification has been revised to reflect current duties performed. Telephone operators will be removed and abolished. Any employees in the old classification will be reclassified to the new classification. So we're just trying to swap out the telephone operators with a new classification of citizen support specialists, which was a part of the bargaining unit from Local 100.
Thank you, Ms. Abrams. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Flickinger.
Second, Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 9, rejection of applications, 5-day, no appeal for the classifications of docket clerk open, emergency medical technician supervisor open, principal clerk open.
Motion to approve Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 10, approval of the final eligible list for the classifications of docket clerk open, emergency medical technician supervisor open, principal clerk open, senior draftsman open.
Motion to approve Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
Been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 11, consideration of the following bulletins. Assistant Chief of Fire promotional, Battalion Chief of Fire open, Captain of Fire promotional. I'm sorry, let me go back. Battalion Chief of Fire promotional, Captain of Fire promotional, Chief Radio Dispatcher promotional, Contract Compliance Officer open, Customer Service Representative Call Center open, Legal Secretary open, Lieutenant of Fire promotional, Safety Program Officer 1 open, Traffic Sign and Marking Technician open, Waste Collection Driver open, Water Hydrant Repair Worker open, Water Pipe Repair Worker open.
Motion to approve Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. With that, I do believe we stand adjourned.
I have stopped the live stream.